Hello, welcome to the Daily Devotion. I'm Kathy Morris, pastor of the Dixon United Methodist Church. Julian of Norwich was one of the great mystics of the 14th century. She had a very serious life-threatening illness, and following that she experienced 16 revelations of God's love. Julian had great confidence in God's love. She also had great confidence in the victory of God's love. There is an exuberance, a vibrancy in the way that Julian speaks about the love of God. Julian wrote, "The love of God Most High for our soul is so wonderful that it surpasses all knowledge. No created being can know the greatness, the sweetness, the tenderness of the love that our Maker has for us. By God's grace and help, therefore, let us in spirit stand and gaze, eternally marveling at the supreme, surpassing, single-minded, incalculable love that God, who is goodness, has for us. Then we can ask reverently of our lover whatever we will." God's love for us is wonderful, surpassing all knowledge, supreme, single-minded, incalculable. Our Bible reading for today comes from the first letter of Peter, chapter 3, verse 12, and I'm reading from the New Revised Standard Version. "The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayer." God's eyes are upon us. God's ears are open to us. Now, these words convey a message that we have heard many times over in different ways, and yet my guess is that we envision God as looking upon us from a distance or hearing our prayers from a distance. We have this picture of God as dispassionate. But if we put this Bible verse together with the writings of Julian of Norwich, this description that we get from Julian of God's love, then I think we get a very different feeling about this passage of Scripture. God doesn't just hear our prayers. God hears our prayers with a love that is great, sweet, and tender. God hears our prayers with a love that is wonderful, surpassing all knowledge, supreme, single-minded, and incalculable. For your prayer time, what I would like to suggest that you do is to write down the true worries and concerns that you're carrying right now. What are those burdens that you are feeling upon your heart? To take note of them, to write them down. And then as you do this, to place one hand upon your ear and your other hand upon your heart. May this be a reminder to you that as you pray, God is listening with a great and passionate love for you and for those for whom you pray.